Production.
All right, we're looking at Hive Digital Technologies. You want to know what's something crazy? Here's a fact. You look at this stock, Hive Digital, right? This stock is on the NASDAQ, but Galaxy isn't. That is crazy. The amount of upside in Galaxy is insane, but to be fair, this is a Hive Digital Technologies video, so let's get into it, right? So this is the monthly time frame we're looking at. We're going to zoom in a lot further. Let's go to the weekly and see what we are breaking down here. This is the zone we need to pay attention to, right? We're bouncing right off of it. As you could see from January 2023 up until now, this area has been support, huge support. We've visited this zone several times, plentiful times. And each time we've come into this zone, we've gotten a bounce out of this area. Sometimes we hung around a little bit further, but it held strong at this zone, okay? So this is a great sign of showing overall strength in the stock around this price, right? Again, we want to see now that we see this volume coming in, right? So as of recently, right, throughout 2023 even, spikes in bullish volume start coming in, right? These spikes in bullish volume, we want to see that take us above where we're at. So where would we look, right? Obviously, that's what we want to happen. Where would we look? So when we mark out this zone, right, I'd say this is a clear area where this stock has struggled in, right? You can mark it from right here, right? This is a clear zone that the stock has struggled in. Why I say that, we have this gap down from, what's this, May 2022, and we haven't really broke up over and held since then, right? So what's that, 2 years almost? 2 years without being above this zone. This resistance point right here is major. You could turn this into a more like a zone, right? So at that point I had it leveled out. You can mark this out something like this. So anywhere between $5.50 to $7, call it. We'll just make it an even number. This range, the price is battling this range. And for just to break it down real simple, what's happening is, say there's 1 million shares here. And the amount of shares, the supply of shares at this range from $5.50 to $7, the supply is greater than the demand, right? So what are we betting on in this crypto space? We're betting on Bitcoin to increase in price, right? So what we're betting on is that with this increase in price of Bitcoin, it's going to lead us to a potential increase in crypto equities across the board in general. Right? How can we tell that that's something? Well, just for example, January 22nd, right? Go to January 22nd, or sorry, when was it? Let's just look at Bitcoin. My apologies. We'll look at Bitcoin and we'll see what happened just from right here, right? What's this? February 5th, call it. Okay, so February 5th, or we could even go down to the bottom of Bitcoin just to be particularly accurate. So the 23rd of January, that's what I was talking about. So this isn't even exact, 35% from the lows, January 23rd to today, right? January 23rd lows to today, Bitcoin's around 33%. Now you look at Hive, right? What's going on with Hive? Right, so we go back to January 23rd, right around here. Hive is up around 44%. Okay, so what I'm trying to get at here is that, like, this stock moves off of Bitcoin's price. Maybe not exactly like Bitcoin does, but it does move similarly in tandem with Bitcoin. So what happens if Bitcoin goes to 100K? What do you think is going to happen to this stock? What happens if in the next few months we see something nuts, Bitcoin goes to 150K? What do you think is going to happen to Hive? in a lot of the crypto equities across the board. A lot of the names are going to follow suit. So it's important to look at now, what can we expect? So if we can hang around this zone here on Hive, right? Let's say we go clean right up into this resistance. If we could hang around more and then break out, what do we look for? Well, we look back to the left and we just look at what are the previous resistance zones that we could look at. So I think one of the major targets we're going to look for in Hive is seeing this $11 range, right? It seems to me that that's a major resistance, and that, in my opinion, is a fair level to be paying attention to during this bull run. So for Hive Technologies, my target for this year, if we can stay strong and break up above this $5.50 to $7 zone that I have highlighted here, I think that the potential to reach this resistance point is possible. And that resistance point is around, call it $11.75, $12. That's the breakdown, guys. Peace.